What is the most disgusting thing you have experienced? 1. Paramedic here. Had a 400 pounds woman fused to her leather love seat by her own defecation. When we lifted her up to pry her from the seat cushions, her skin tore open and maggots poured out of her legs along with poop and pus. Yes, she was alive. 2. I bought a pack of powdered donuts from a questionable convenience store. Hours later I took a bite of one. It tasted awful. Unfortunately I swallowed some. Looked at the package and it said glazed. It was white mold. I threw up. 3. Woke up to the placenta of my pregnant cat dragging across my face. She had gone into labor at like 3 a.m. and was freaking out trying to get me up. I almost threw up. 4. I once chugged a Martinelli and binged a banana pie. 40 minutes later I was projectile vomiting and having involuntary diarrhea at the exact same time. 5. A seagull flew low over me and for some reason I looked up to follow it. It pooped directly into my left eye. I was in a very crowded area and it took me between 5 and 10 minutes to push through the crowd to the nearest bathroom. You cannot comprehend the rage I felt toward oblivious, dawdling people in front of me. I could feel the grit under my eyelid. When I got to the bathroom it was one of those low-flow auto shut-off hand sensor faucets. I could barely gather enough water to submerge my eye in my cupped hand. I was probably in there for a half hour desperately rinsing. 6. My best friend and I both had food poisoning at the same time with one bathroom. She literally shoved me off the toilet so she could poop on top of my poop. 7. It's subjective but I had an epidural injection around my C6 vertebrae without anesthesia and while it did not hurt, I could hear through the inside of my body the needle going through the tough layers. I was like, oh boy, this is weird. 8. I got an armpit infection last summer that turned into an abscess and popped. The smell was one of the worst thing I've ever smelled and I work with dogs. 9. Nothing compared to the time me and a friend were lying outside late one evening stargazing. We had been lying in the damp grass for hours just talking until we decided to turn in for the night. We stood up and both of us could see in the light of our flashlights that we were both covered head to toe in little slugs. Our clothes were covered and a bunch were tangled in our hair. We both started shrieking and picking them off fast as we could. Almost 20 years later and I'm still traumatized. 10. I did a butter eating contest for $50 with my friends once. One guy ate one stick and threw up. I ate 3 sticks of butter and kept it down somehow. I didn't crap normally for almost a week. I got $50 out of it though.